Welcome back. Today I'm going to start building a desk for my son. Now he does need a desk, but he has very specific requirements, or as he calls it, requests for the desk. It needs to have drawers, it needs to have shelves, it needs to have power, and he also has a very specific vision of what it needs to look like. It's pretty straightforward though. But before we get started, a huge shout out to Craig for sponsoring this project and video. They have come out with a brand new line of battery-powered power tools specifically made for woodworkers, and I absolutely love them, and I am going to be using them to build this desk. But before we start building, if you are new here, I am Anika, and my goal is to demystify DIY and inspire and empower you to build all of the things. I do have a ton of resources, but the best place to get started is my free Power Tools Simplified Guide, which I will add a link to in the description below. Now, let's get building. I started by cutting down the sheet of plywood. To cut it down, I am using the brand new Craig track saw. This is a cordless track saw, and I absolutely love how easy it is to make those accurate cuts on these huge sheets of plywood. I have the detailed plans with the dimensions, cut list, and step-by-step instructions linked in the description. I will also pop a QR code right here for you to grab the plans if you're watching it on TV. For the smaller cuts, I like to use my circular saw with the Craig rip cut. Now the Craig rip cut can only make cuts between 1 inch and 24-inch wide. So for those smaller cuts, I really like using this because it's really quick and easy to use. Now to cut down the dimensional boards, you can totally use a circular saw as well. I am using the Craig mini circular saw. This is really easy to handle, lightweight, and it makes quick, accurate cuts. Okay, now let's put it together. For the pocket holes, I am using the new Craig Rebel, which is a battery-powered pocket hole jig with a built-in drill. I liked using this to quickly make the pocket holes in this large piece of plywood. It is definitely a little bit bulky, but it is also very convenient. You can also use any other Craig jig like the 720, 520, or 320. Now the outer panels of the desk have a 1x2 trim attached to it, so I attached that using wood glue and finish nails, but the finish nails need to be hidden so that they are not visible on the outside. So I clamped the entire thing, turned it over, and added the finish nails. Now it's time to build the side panels, and this is basically attaching the plywood to the 2x2 legs using wood glue and finish nails. The key to making sure everything stays aligned is to use clamps as you attach, and the right angle clamps make a huge difference, and I highly recommend them. That is the outer panel, and then there is an inner panel which is without the 1x2 trim. And also for the bottom shelves, I added 1x2 boards as a trim on the front by attaching them using pocket holes. It's time to put it all together. However, the one thing I want to do before we assemble and start making the structure is to fill up these pocket holes, especially on the side that's going to have shelves. These pocket holes will be visible in the sides. So I am going to fill these up before I assemble it into that structure that we need to build. The side that's going to have drawers, I'm just going to let it be. They're never going to be visible, but at least the side that has shelves, I should fill them up right now because it's so much easier to do that right now versus once it is built. Now, usually my favorite way of filling pocket holes is to use a dowel, so I can just insert it, cut it off, sand it smooth. And this can be used even when you are staining the project, which they will not be completely seamless, but they will look really good. However, I have this box full of dowel plugs that I originally bought when I was making the video about filling pocket holes, so I wanted to show you all the options. So I am actually just going to go ahead and use these up because I need to use them up, and we are going to be painting this, so it really doesn't matter what the species of the pocket hole plugs is. We're just going to be painting it anyways. So I added wood glue and pocket hole plugs, and once the glue was dried, I cut off the excess and sanded it smooth. Now it's time to put it all together. I started by attaching the bottom shelf to one of the side panels. Once again, it's really important to make sure everything is aligned as you add in the pocket hole screws. And then I added a few boards as the top braces. The board in the front is a 1x2, and the rest of the boards I just used scrap pieces of plywood. And then I attached the entire thing to the other side panel, which is going to complete the entire structure for one side of the desk, which is where the shelves are going to be. And that's it for the shelf tower. Okay, now let's build the other side, which is a side that's going to have all of the drawers. The first step is still the same, attaching the shelf to the side panel. Next, I need to attach all of the dividers between the drawers to this panel. So I measured and marked exactly where each of them are going to go, and then I attached the 1x2 dividers using wood glue and pocket hole screws. Now I have to make sure that all of these are perfectly square and exactly aligned as I attach them. And then, of course, there are a few top braces as well. And then it needs to be attached to the other side panel, which again, I measured and marked exactly where the dividers were going to be so that I could align them, make sure everything stayed exactly where they should be, and attach them. Now, one thing to definitely make sure is that you're looking at the direction of which side has the outer panel and which side has the inner panel, because the outer panel has the trim and the inner panel does not. So you want to make sure that you are taking that into account as you are attaching the boards. And there, my friends, is the other side of the desk. Now it's time to build the drawers. For the drawers, I am using plywood, which I cut down to the size that I needed because I had enough scrap plywood lying around. But you can also use dimensional boards, and the plans tell you exactly what sizes you need. I made pocket holes quickly using my Craig 720 and then assembled the drawers together. I do have a detailed video that shows you exactly how to build drawers using pocket holes. So definitely check that out for all of the details. Now, the number one thing with any kind of box you build is you make sure that it is square. And I checked every single drawer. This one was a little out of square, so I corrected for it and let it dry overnight. And the next day I attached the bottom. And we have 4 drawers. These are going to be inside drawers, so I marked the thickness of the drawer front, which is 3/4 inches, and then I attached the drawer slides onto the sides. Once the drawer slides are attached, I like to put in a little bit of a spacer underneath, which is a 1/4 inch sheet of plywood, and then add in my drawer, and then attach the drawer slides to the drawer. Of course, I go into all of these details in my video on how to build and install drawers, so definitely check that out. The drawer front, the top of the desk, and a shelf are all plywood, so I covered the edges using edge banding. I do have a detailed video about all things covering plywood edges, so you can check that out for more details. Then it was time for primer and paint. I like using a paint sprayer because it makes it quick to get good coverage, but it was in the middle of a rainy week and I raced the weather when there was a half-day break in the rain. Once the paint was cured for a couple of days, it was time for the remaining finishing touches, starting with the shelf pin holes using the Craig shelf pin jig. And now the shelf side is completely done. So now it's time to attach the drawer fronts, and my favorite way of attaching drawer fronts, especially when I am using hardware, is to make the holes for the hardware and attach it using those holes and then add in the hardware. And I go into all of the details to do that in my video where I show you how to build and install drawers. But today I want to show you how to use this little jig from Craig, which is essentially meant for making those hardware holes. And the best thing about this is that there's barely any measurements involved. I mean, you do have to start by measuring your drawer front, but then once you do and once you calculate the midpoint, it is super easy to just set this up, and then once it's set up, you can just repeat it across each of the drawer fronts. So number one, we have to set the distance between the two holes, and that is essentially the distance between these two holes. And usually your hardware packet is going to tell you what that distance is. In my case, it's 3 inches. So over here, I'm setting half of that, which is 1.5 inches on both sides. So I set that up with this little knob. I can move these and I can set it to 1.5 inches. And then we have to set this top plate, which is half of this width right here. And in my case, that is 5.5. So I have set this up at 2.75 inch. So the top of this plate right here is at 2.75 inch. Now, this one here needs to be set to half of this width of the drawer front. This right here is 12 inches, and this at the edge right here is actually 6 inches. So I have set that up, set it up just like so, and make the holes. And the great thing is that you can just go from one board to the other just like that, as long as the drawer fronts are identical. For the narrower drawer front, I simply had to adjust the height and I could make the holes easily. Now to attach the drawer fronts, I aligned them in the front using 1/8 inch shims and attached them using temporary screws. And now I can open it and add in countersunk screws from the inside. And now I can take out the temporary screws, make the hole all the way through, and attach the hardware. I decided I wanted to add a built-in power point, and the best place to do that was at the back of the tower with the drawers. So I traced out the size that I needed to cut, and I actually started with using a jigsaw to make the cut, but then I realized that it was too close to the edge and the jigsaw was not going to work. So I switched to a multi-tool, and that worked like a charm. And then I had to make a 2-inch hole in that beautifully, perfectly painted top to route the wires out. And now it is time to put everything together to build the desk. I am assembling it in place because bringing that desk into the room is going to be a much harder thing to do. I clamped a few scrap boards to support the braces as I attach them. Now, if you look close, you will see that the outside does not have a 1x2 trim. And this is because I had placed the shelf tower in the wrong direction by accident. Thankfully, I noticed this before attaching the top and I was able to fix it. I'm sorry, I did not record that part because I was really freaking out. But there were a few holes that needed wood filler and a little bit of paint later. They will not be visible at all. So there's nothing that a little bit of wood filler can't fix. And once everything was in place, everything looked good and was in the right direction, I attached the top to the braces using countersunk screws. And I love using my Craig Quick Flip for this because I can make the countersunk holes and drive the screws without having to change the bits. And then finally, I attached the back for the shelf side. And the reason I had not done this yet was so that I still had access to be able to reach inside and attach the top. And that is it. That is the desk that my son requested. Remember, the plans are available to you and you can grab them from the link in the description or the QR code. And now let's see what he thinks about the desk.
Oh, is it finished?
It is. How do you like it?
I like it. It's good.
You're gonna try it out? Mm-hmm. Is it everything that you wanted?
And more.
And more? All right. So I guess that was a success. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time with another fun project. So stay tuned.